8:45 a.m. for Let's Talk Real Estate, as they share with you everything you need to know to be successful in the real estate market. You can't afford to miss it. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate with Bishop Mark Hardy of Coldwell Banker, along with Tanya Palmer Lodge and Earon Lee of Century Point Lending Solutions.
Hi, and welcome all of you out there in Radioland. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate on the Omega Radio, the greatest real estate show on Omega Radio. It's good to have you tuning in this morning as we once again come to you to share about the important things that you need to know as you prepare to engage in the real estate market here in Florida. Well, guys, nice to see you. Earon and Tanya are with us again. You know, those are the mortgage gurus from Century Point Lending Solutions. How are you? How was your weekend?
Good morning, Mark, and good morning to everybody out there. As usual, Mark, the weekend is never long enough.
And you, Tanya?
Well, mine was better. So, mine was long enough. So, it's fine.
Great.
But it's great to be back on to share, our wealth of knowledge here with everyone.
Good. Folks listening, we have entered into what is commonly known as the Atlantic hurricane season. The hurricane season runs from June 1 to November 30th. You know, there is an old rhyme that says, June too soon, July stand by, August you must, September remember, October it's all over. Interestingly, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is forecasting that there will be 12 to 17 named storms this season. Of those, 5 to 9, they said, could become hurricanes, and 4 of those becoming major hurricanes. That is, categories 3, 4, or 5, with wind speed of 111 miles per hour or even higher. May I remind all our homeowners that preparation for anything in life significantly reduces the levels of failure and disaster. And so it is that while we are engaged in the real estate business, we must be mindful of all that affects our lives. And yes, there is also, Earon, and I know this is one of the areas that you are very interested in, that this period, June into July, possibly August, is a significant time to buy or sell. Why?
Absolutely. Because as everybody is seeing, if you're anywhere on social media, you're seeing all the pictures of prom season, graduation season, which means parents are on the move.
Yes.
They are looking for that next home to make sure their child is in the right school district to go to next grade level. So, I love this time because there's a lot of movement in the market, but it's also the excitement of seeing the kids with their accomplishments as well. And not to digress too far, but you brought up a good point, and I just want to remind everybody out there that with hurricane season upon us, this is a very good time to take a look at those homeowners insurance policies, making sure that you understand your coverages. And if there's any questions, you definitely want to reach out to your insurance agent or broker to get those questions answers ahead of time, because as Mark mentioned, preparation is the key when it comes to these things.
Most certainly. Another important fact is that we are almost at the middle of 2023.
A good time for reflection, right, Miss Tanya?
And there were those who kept on saying, I'm waiting for prices to come down. I'm waiting for the adjustment. To make it more dramatic, they're saying, I'm waiting for the bubble to burst. Tanya, what do you have to say about that?
Well, you know my little spiel on that. Yes, we're waiting, but why are we waiting, right? If this is the time and you can afford to get into that home, there's no need to wait. You look at your numbers, you sit with one of us, well, myself or Earon really is who you're going to be working with, and we're going through your numbers with you. We're letting you know where you stand, where your monthly payment needs to be. So there's no need to wait. What you need to say is, how do I get myself prepared?
Yes.
What do I need to do to get prepared for for that next level? So in preparation, you know exactly where you need to be. But the best thing for you guys to do is reach out to us. Our number is 954-890-4320. And again, you'll be getting myself or Earon Lee, and we're going to guide you through the process.
Certainly. And there is no doubt in my mind that a number of persons who have been predicting that there is going to be a shift are recognizing that the market is level. I've been doing business. People are calling. People are saying, I want to buy. I want to sell. Reach out to me, 786-327-8844. I often say you don't get an operator. You don't get a voice message. You get me. I don't screen my calls. I answer you, 786-327-8844. And we are ready to help you to make that next move. Now, you made mention of persons, again we keep saying, come in and let us begin the conversation. But I have been, as a realtor, out there talking with persons. They are telling me about being pre-qualified and pre-approved. Is there a difference between being pre-qualified and being pre-approved?
There is. There's a big difference.
Yes.
When you are pre-qualified, it means that you call me, but you're just giving me your information. Mm-hmm. And I'm just taking that information and just saying, okay, this is where your numbers are. But I haven't given you anything in writing.
Yes.
Okay? You haven't supplied me with your pay stubs. You haven't supplied me with your bank statements. I haven't looked at your credit. Mm-hmm. Once I do those three things, then you become pre-approved. Mm-hmm. So pre-qualification is just, like I like to say, persons tend to call some banks and give their information over the phone. Yes. And the bank will say, okay, you're pre-qualified. But when they come to me and they go, well, I already gave my information. They told me I'm pre-qualified. I said, okay, did you give them any documentation? No, I just told them what my income is. I told them how much I have in my bank account. I told them all these things versus I didn't supply them with my documents. Mm-hmm. We need your documentation to verify that information. And then we say you are pre-approved. I actually don't even like the word pre-qualification. Because
we don't practice that at all.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything because you have not supplied documentation. How do we verify your income?
Yes.
How do I verify the funds that you have? It's the documentation.
Guys, listen carefully, because you see that information is critical. You get pre-approved, it indicates your seriousness about getting involved in purchasing that house that you so desire to acquire.
But why would you even want to be pre-qualified and not pre-approved? Why would you not want to know your numbers?
Yes.
So you're out there looking at a home for $300,000, and somebody gave you a number. But then when they got your correct information, then your numbers are going to change. Why would you put yourself through that? So again, guys, this is why it's important for you to sit down, call us on the phone, send in your information, get a proper pre-approval, because that is essential in your whole process. Our number again is 954-890-4320. If you're not picking up the phone and calling the number, you're not serious. You're not serious. And then any offers you're putting out there to a seller doesn't mean anything. Because why? The sellers are not going to take you serious. Get your numbers in line. Know your payment.
Not only are the sellers not going to take you serious, but certainly as the person who will be fronting for you, negotiating with you for that property, I can't take you serious. It's a waste of my time to drive up and down, show you properties that are within that pre-qualified ballpark that you're looking at, yet you can't put an offer on the table. And so it is. get the numbers up there, and we can begin to talk. You bring that pre-approval to me, I go on the road for you and ultimately with you. Call me, 786-327-8844.
Mark, here's why it's important of what you and Tanya have been harping on this morning. So I got a call from a gentleman last week. He's under contract to buy a condo here in South Florida, moving down from New York. Got a pre-qualification from one of those wonderful banks. Under contract, and he cannot qualify for the mortgage for this property. So a perfect example. He called the bank, gave them his information over the phone. Now when they're trying to verify that his income is X and his credit is Y, okay, he doesn't have the requirements to get this mortgage. So this gentleman has $25,000 in escrow and is at risk of losing it because he's been under contract for 30 days already. So therefore, what happened in that scenario? One, pre-qualification versus pre-approval. He did not get pre-approved. He got pre-qualified based upon what he told the bank. Two, the realtor did not vet that pre-approval or that pre-qualification before going on the contract.
Oh, my word.
Okay, so now you have a gentleman who is at risk of losing a very substantial amount of money going into his retirement days. Okay, so guys, this is why we come on here, and this is why we try to share this information with you, so you don't end up in these positions and at risk of losing money. Pick up those phones, make the phone calls, inquire about how your situation will go versus the next person. 954-890-4320.
Yes. Recently, I had to close. And you know that.
Congrats. I mean, I'm congratulating, but I was a part of the process, right?
Certainly,
Oh, okay.
certainly, we did partner with those, and you know, both individuals. When I began to talk with them, they expressed some hesitance. They were unsure, and we brought them in. I brought them into you.
Yes.
You pre-qualified them, pre-approved them. Sorry, you pre-approved them. And even the last one, yes, that bought the tutu, she had little hesitance, she had little doubts, but the fact that we had the numbers
Made a difference.
Made the difference.
Yes.
And as I said, that the market is at the place where it's not bullish anymore. Yes, you can negotiate with the sellers. Both individuals went to close with buyer's credit. That happens when you have a good realtor working with you, folks. Call me, 786-327-8844. I am here for you to hold your hand and to walk with you, help to mitigate the stress that can often accompany home purchase.
And as we're about to wrap up, you know, how we started was really, I like your spiel about hurricane season.
Yes.
So I wanted us to end on that, in the sense that the importance of taking that serious, the importance of knowing that if you're in the process right now, if you're on the contract on a home and you've already done an appraisal, you just need to be mindful if the lender reaches out and say you need a new appraisal. Why? Because this is hurricane season, and if there is a storm, they always want to make sure that the home is still intact, which is why they will request a second appraisal, and that sometimes is a cost, an additional cost to that buyer. So these are things that you need to be aware of, but when you work with professionals, when you work with people who are going to guide you through this process, then you realize and you understand. So it's hurricane season can tend to be a lot, but for home buying and going through that that whole process, you just need to have people by your side.
Certainly.
Absolutely.
You need to have us there working with you and working for you. And I love to remind our buyers that oftentimes the cost to you is very, very minimal. Great having you. Great being with you again on this first Monday morning in the month of June. Looking forward to seeing you next week, Monday morning, 8:45 here on Omega Radio for Let's Talk Real Estate. Call me, 786-327-8844 and
954-890-4320, your Century Point team.
bye-bye. Have a good and blessed week.
That was Let's Talk Real Estate. Join us again next Monday at 8:45 a.m. for another informative program in the series Let's Talk Real Estate. Buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Florida? Join Bishop Mark Hardy of Coldwell Banker along with Tanya Palmer Lodge and Earon Lee of Century Point Lending Solution right here on Omega Radio every Monday at 8:45 a.m. for Let's Talk Real Estate, as they share with you everything you need to know to be successful in the real